Okay, so video 3. This is the stage at which we're going to start tweaking and tailoring our shape, our 3D shape which we've created, to make it far more suited and usable within the actual mood lamp itself. It's nice to have this box, it's great, but if you consider what it's actually for, it's for holding the circuit for an LED, and at this moment in time the LED has got nowhere to go. So one of the first things we're going to do in this video is create a space for the LED to be poked out of, so that it can ensure that the LED itself, the fitting, is within the gap in the middle, so that you can see the changing light effect happening. So best thing to do now, make sure we've got the right view on this. We want to be working on this face of the cuboid here, so we're going to click on this face, and then it is this face of it which we're going to be working on. So if you right click on it and go to sketch, we will now be ensuring that we're working on here. What we want to do is create a bit of a gap in this top corner just here, and that will allow us to still slide the LED in from, let's say, this right hand side into the fitting, but it will also ensure that we can bend the LED, and the LED will be able to kind of get pushed out in this general shape like that, so that it goes into the gap in the middle whilst the LED circuitry just stays out of the way. So therefore we need to do something in this corner here to make sure. We need to create a gap, some sort of exit point for the LED. So we are going to create a hole. We're going to go to this sketching feature here, the circle. If you click on that, and then you need to be precise here, you want to make sure you're bang in the corner here. Just like before, you get the orange dot, that tells us we are in the corner there. If you click on that once and drag out, you will see a circuit forming. Now you will see that there's the dashed blue line in the middle there. That's telling you what kind of angle at which you're pulling out at. What we need to make sure is that we're going straight down. You will know you're going straight, firstly because you'll be able to tell just by looking at it with your eye, but also you will see there is that white box with the black line going down through it. That tells us the line that we're pulling is absolutely vertical, absolutely vertically true, which is ideal. At this point, don't worry about the dimension, because we're going to go and change that in a moment, just like before. So just drag it down along this edge, click it once, and it will drag it out to that point. And now we're going to actually have the option to change the dimension of this circle we've built. You can see here the radius is being indicated to us. What I want us to set this to is 11.5 for a radius. Press tick, and it will drag it out as it needs to in order to create that size. And then what we're going to do is create a cut through here, and everything within this circle is going to get cut away and removed from the cuboid shape which we've got. So hopefully by this point you'll be familiar with what it is that we've already done. We're going to go back to features, back to extruded cut, and now it's giving us the option to cut through again. So I'm going to change the angle just so you can see what's happening. You can see that the cut that's going to be made is going to go through the edge of the cuboid that we've got. And this is actually quite a nice feature again to be aware of, because hopefully you'll be able to use it in years 10 and 11 when many of you go on to do technology. You can actually alter the depth of this cut just like we were saying before, so it's entirely up to you how deep you need it in future projects you may have. In this instance we're going all the way through, we want to get rid of it, so just drag the arrow up so it goes past the other edge of the shape which we've got. I'm just going to move that out like that so we can see what's going on. Press tick, and slow computer, there we go. It's taken the material away. And then if I just change the view from which we're looking at it, you can see now that there is a gap in the middle there which we can use to fit the LED through to make sure it can still shine through the gap which we will have in the MDF, and for it to illuminate. So we're looking good, we're getting places now with our piece. We're actually making it look more and more like the fitted piece that we need to be using. Next thing I want us to do is also take away material at the other end of your fitting. So I'm going to go back to this view here. It's great to be able to fit the circuitry through this edge here, but the circuit board is going to fit in here, and it's going to sit flush with the edge of the hole the edge of the gap that we've created, which means actually trying to get hold of it and be able to pull it out is going to be really quite tricky. So again, this is us creating a feature which is going to help us. We could very easily just leave it square like that and say, job done, and leave it like that. But if we can build it exactly how we want it to be, it's going to be a far more useful feature for us. If we've gone to the efforts to make this, we may as well make it exactly how we want it to be to work with the mood lamp. So just like before, right click on this face again. Doesn't matter which angle you're viewing this from this time. Press on sketch. I'm going to view it from above because it's definitely easiest. Go back to circle again. Now at this point we've got to be really accurate again. If you get the pencil and you pull it across, you'll see that this yellow dot, orange when I highlight it, yellow dot when I'm not on it, is showing. You'll also see that there's that yellow box with the dash going through it. This means that we are actually halfway along this line. We could make a mark and draw the circle out and then adjust the dimensions of it just like we did at the very beginning. But in this instance, it's a handy guide. It will help us out in that respect, and you'll be able to see if I move the mouse up that I can make sure if I were to draw a circle in the middle, it's exactly in the middle of this edge here. Now I don't want that circle. I'm going to get rid of that just as a demonstration for you, just so you can see how handy these little marks and pointers are for you. Click on that halfway point there, and we're going to drag it out. Make sure you're keeping it vertical. You can see that line is telling us we're going straight. And we're going to keep coming out. We're going to keep coming out. We could very easily take away all this material. That wouldn't be useful. It wouldn't leave us with much of a holder left. So we want to make sure it's going just up before it gets to the edge of your fitting here and here. We want to make sure there's still a bit of wall left, so this piece is remaining strong, but it also ensures that we can get there. Now, if I go back to features and extruded cut, we're going to do exactly the same as we did in that other corner. We're going to make sure that this cut is going all the way through the fitting which we're building. So we're going to press tick, and once more, if I wheel this back around, you'll see it's created that gap. Now, you may wonder why on earth we've done that. Well, that allows you to just get your fingertips in there. It allows you to grab hold of the circuit board and be able to pull it out. I've obviously gone away and I've tried to make sure this project will work along with Mrs. Keeling and Miss Blackman. What we found is that the circuit board will sit really nice and snugly within this fitting, but it can be tricky to get out. And what we don't want to do is have to use something like pliers or something to grab hold, because that risks damaging the circuit. So by creating this gap here, what we've ensured is that this is a really nice fitting which is usable. It protects the circuit board, but it's still a usable product. We can get our fingertips just in this gap here, grab the edge of the circuit board and pull it in and out as we need. So that's why we've done that. That will work really nicely. It's just going to add another feature. It's another aspect of this piece, this project, which is making it far more user friendly. So in terms of building this piece, we are basically there. Final thing we want to do is just tidy it up and make it look a little bit neater, a little bit smarter. So that's what we're going to do in the next video. Again, if you need to go back over anything, watch again, absolutely do. And then next time round, I'll show you how we're going to finalise and finish this piece.